Good evening. I'm Storm Team 12 Chief Meteorologist Ken South. We're going to give you an hourly update on the progress of Hurricane Sally through the night and through the day tomorrow. Right now, Sally is right here about 100 miles or a little bit more south-southeast of the Mississippi coastline. It is moving to the west-northwest at about 3 miles per hour. It's at 100 mile per hour sustained winds. That makes it a solid Category 2 hurricane. Hurricane warnings are up for the Mississippi and Alabama coastline and a little part of Florida as well because the storm has been shifting farther to the east. The cone of uncertainty now ranges from about, let's say, Harrison County in Mississippi to about Pensacola, right around the Alabama-Florida state line. Right in the middle of that cone is actually closer to Mobile than it is to Biloxi. So this is a good trend for us. We want it to continue to shift eastward because the main impact of the storm is going to be east of the center of circulation. As long as we're on the western side, it's a good thing for us. We get a north wind. Yes, it's going to be breezy and cloudy, and we'll see occasional tropical downpours, but I think the main impact for Mississippi is mostly going to be in the Pine Belt and then down toward the Gulf Coast. But it could be a significant impact. This could be the strongest hurricane to make landfall in Mississippi if it makes landfall here since 2005 in Hurricane Katrina. So a Category 2 hurricane has winds up to 110 miles per hour, can produce extensive damage, and we can see power outages for several days, possibly more than a week. So these are all the impacts from a hurricane. Flash flooding, coastal surge, I think is going to be significant over parts of Mississippi. Not so much in the way of wind, and the tornado threat, I think, is going to be minimal for us because, again, all that's going to be in the northeastern quadrant, east of the center of circulation. So here's a look at the rain. Not too much tonight, but the cloud canopy has overtaken the state of Mississippi. This is our Mobile radar. We'll get a closer look in. Here's Mobile Bay, and there's, again, the eye trying to form there about 120 miles away from I-10 and Biloxi. So rainfall totals, not impressive at all in the metro and points west of Interstate 55. Go to the east, though, and they really begin to go up, especially east of 59, 6 to 12 inches, not out of the question, along the immediate coastline because the storm is moving so slowly. Once that rain shield gets on shore, it's just going to rain and rain and rain and not stop. That's why there is a flash flood watch in effect. The green shaded area, Meridian, down to Hattiesburg and Poplarville, basically along Interstate 59 and points east. Now, the storm surge, it's a big threat. This is a pretty high storm surge of 6 to 9 feet. It has been revised down just a little bit for Harrison and Hancock counties because the storm is moving farther to the east, but still 6 to 9 feet along the entire Mississippi coastline and all the way up into Mobile Bay. As far as tropical storm force winds are concerned, great chance that we're going to see that in Hattiesburg, but the farther northwest you go, not a very good chance. 35% in Macomb, 22% in the Jackson area. And the risk for severe weather is, again, going to be to the east of that center of circulation tonight. Could see one or two of those spin-up tornadoes right along the shoreline in Florida and Alabama. And then it does go inland just a little bit for Tuesday, but that only clips a little portion of the Pine Belt. So here's a look at the storm moving in as a Category 2, and this model actually takes it farther to the east and later in time, actually Wednesday, going into Florida. So you can see just how slowly it's moving and how that rain can really add up right here. And we're talking about not only a coastal surge, but river flooding as well. With all that water coming in from the ocean and all that rain falling, the rain's going to try to drain out of the rivers into the Gulf, but it's just not going to be able to do that. So we've got Sally out here, but there's a lot more going on across the Atlantic Ocean. We've got Hurricane Paulette, made a direct landfall in Bermuda. Now it's forecast to strengthen into a Category 3 major hurricane. No more advisories are going to be issued on Renee. This one is done, but we've got Tropical Storm Teddy, Tropical Storm Vicky out here, and this wave could become Wilfred. If that happens, we're out of names on the list, and we're going to have to go to the Greek alphabet. The next storm would be Alpha. So forecast for tonight, 73 degrees, and for tomorrow, we're going to make it up to 84. Tropical downpours to the southeast of Jackson, and yes, it's going to be a breezy day. Here's a look at the next 8 days or so, and after the rain wraps up the middle of the week and the storm pushes off to the east of us, we're actually going to see pretty nice weather going into the weekend and early next week. A little cooler, mostly sunny, lows in the 60s and highs in the lower 80s. Now, we're going to have another update again at the top of the next hour at midnight. Then we're going to have another advisory that will come out at 1 a.m., so we'll have new information then. We hope to see you early in the morning on Tuesday morning.